Hello, and welcome to the University of Texas at Tyler National High School Ethics Bowl Moderators Training. This year is going to be a little different with the COVID issues and trying to keep everybody safe and healthy. The National High School Ethics Bowl has created an online environment to host these ethics bowls to keep everybody safe and distant. And it actually has some really nice features for us as moderators and judges. Okay, your role as moderator is the same as it has been in the previous years. You basically, as a moderator, you control the room, which is the match that you're moderating. You make sure that time is observed, the rules are observed, the discussions, presentations, commentary, they all stay ethical and respectful, and that you can report any technical issues to the organizers. You will have a script for this, so it's all pretty written out. So it really comes down to the timings. And like I said, we'll talk about the platform in a minute, but they've already built in the timings for you. So you just click a box, you actually go through each one of the pieces, Team A presentation, Team B commentary, they have those set up automatically. So it is actually pretty sufficient inside the system. The way the cases go, you will start with Team A, and the teams are now randomly assigned. So you make an announcement to the judges. Sabine High School is Team A, White House High School is Team B. The judges mark it on their score tallies, which they do online in their system. And then you just proceed as usual. You start with case one. Team A is given their presentation. So they get 3 minutes to confer. In this conferring in the new system, they have a conference room. Team A is the only one allowed in that conference room, and they're the only ones allowed to talk at that time. Team B can be writing notes, but they have to be silent. We'll go through the moderator script in a minute, but before you start any of this, you need to announce the rules. And since we're in an online environment, it is, for the most part, on an honor system. It's an ethics bowl. Let's stay ethical. After their 3-minute conference time is up, which again, I said that the timing is already built into the system, they have 5 minutes to answer their question and present their case. They're also given a 3 and 1 minute warning inside the system. Then Team B gets 3 minutes to confer. And again, they're the only ones in the conference room. They're the only ones who can talk. Then Team B gets 3 minutes to respond to Team A's presentation. They're given a 1 minute warning. Then Team A has 3 minutes to confer. And then they're given 3 minutes to respond to Team B's commentary. After which, the judges have a 10-minute question period for Team A, and they record their scores. Then we move to case 2. It's the same thing, but in reverse. Team B gets 3 minutes to confer. They get 5 minutes to answer their case question and make their case. Then Team A gets 3 minutes to confer. They get 3 minutes to respond to Team B's presentation. Team B gets 3 minutes to confer. They get 3 minutes to respond to the commentary. And the judges get 10-minute question period for Team B, after which we record the scores and announce the winner. Okay, so this may look a little scary, but actually it's a moderator outline. I created this for myself because I just let's just step by step, this is what I need to do. Okay, so basically before the match actually starts, you log in, you welcome the teams, and you verify that they are correct. Some of our schools will have 2 teams. So if it's Legacy Team A or Legacy Team 1 should be in your room, you make sure it's Legacy Team 1. But all of that is pre-programmed, so it should flow pretty nicely. Introduce the coaches, introduce yourself, introduce the judges. Let the judges have like 1 or 2 minutes to introduce themselves and tell a little bit about who they are. Then you explain the rules briefly, okay? No previously written notes or electronics near the table. That includes the smartwatches, like mine. And this is where the honor system comes into play. Normally when we're in person and we're in the room, you can see all of that, but we really can't. So we do make that announcement. Sometimes you can kind of tell while you're watching them, but again, there are no more than 5 students in the match for each team. So some teams may have 6 students because they'll have an alternate, but once that match begins, there's only 5 students who can participate. Other teammates can be present, but they cannot talk to the 5 that are on the team presenting at all, anytime in the match. Coaches can be present, but they cannot talk or interfere with the team at all. Basically, the team, those 5 students are on their own. For the team selection and notices, teams A and B, they're automatically chosen now. You'll announce to the judges, like I said, the school name and whether they're team A or team B, and have the judges write them down, record them in their sheets. Then you explain to the teams that there will be pop-up time notifications. This is different. Normally what we would do in person was ask if they want a print card or a verbal time warning. Now this is all built into the system. So they're going to be little pop-up time notifications for them. And then just like in the timings, you announce the case title, read the question, you copy and paste the question in the user notification window in the system. And again, we'll go through all of that in a minute. They have, all of this. And that's all that we did. And one of the nice things now is that after Team A gives their presentation, the judges can be kind of writing down their scoring on the presentation while Team B is in their 3-minute conference room. But the judges need to remember, and you may have to remind them, to click save if they make any changes to any of the scoring. Save and save often. And we just go through the process. Again, all of this is written out in a script, which you can view the whole time in the system, but you can also print it out, which is what I do. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And then after all of this, the scoring, the judges go into the system, they type in their scores and comments. They will review the scores and comments and make sure all their changes have been saved. They confirm their scores and they lock in their vote. And you will see as the moderator each step that they do. And you can also send them notices of please finish up your scoring. Then once all the votes are locked in, the judges can either read or have their scores and votes announced. I mean, the students are going to see it. It's going to post to them as well. Then you as the moderator will see the team with the most votes. You announce that they are the winner. All the data is now kept and automatically sent to the organizers. So you don't have to tally anything up. You don't have to take papers somewhere. All you do is you can end the match. Okay, and that's all in the system. So like I said before, you have a script. Okay, so this is all laid out for you. There's 6 pages for each match. And it's the same one. I mean, it's the same. So once you go through the script once, you'll have the flow down. It doesn't take long. But what I like to do myself is I like to print out a script for each match. And then I can write in the school for team A, the school for team B, and keep those straight. That's just what I do. If that's something that you want to do, feel free. But again, and I mean, you literally just read the script. The blue stuff is kind of notes to you, in bold, notes to you, but what is in regular print is what you read. It's pretty simple. Okay, so now let's move on to the platform. Okay, in the ethics bowl, if you've never done this before, we have some certain terminology, user types that we use, but this becomes very important in the online system. Okay, so the NHSEB1 is the online system that we're using now, National High School Ethics Bowl 1, in case you're wondering. So we have an event is a group of rounds. So our entire UT Tyler High School Ethics Bowl is an event. The users are the people. A round is the group of matches. A match is the single competitive between two schools or two teams. So I think this kind of explains it a little bit better. Okay, so in our event, we're going to have round 1, match 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And these are the different schools or teams competing against each other. Then we move to round 2 again. And then out of that, we'll have 4 schools that advance. They go to the semifinals. We have 2 matches in semifinals. And then out of the semifinals, we will have 2 teams that advance to the finals. Okay, so the NHSEB1 has been designed. It works across most web browsers and platforms. It works with Zoom. What you're going to need is a computer with a stable internet connection. I would suggest a wired internet connection, not a Wi-Fi, since those can drop in and out. And as the moderator, you've got to be able to stay in the room. Make sure your Chrome has worked best in the test, so get you some Chrome. Make sure it's up to date. Make sure you have the Zoom desktop app in your emails and correspondence. They should have sent you a link to go ahead and download the Zoom and get all of that set up. So when you go in, and I think most of you have, once we enter you as a moderator, you get the email, you go in, you can reset up your profile. I suggest adding in a picture, changing your password, and making sure all of that is set up, and then you can drop down and select the event. Okay. And this is getting into kind of the steps and the changes for the moderator's interface, because your moderator, you're going to see a little bit of a different view than the judges and the students, okay, because you have different controls than the judges. The judges don't need your controls. They have other things they need. The students don't need your controls. They have other things that they need access to. And so each one of these roles or user roles has its own interface with what you need. Okay, so when you come in and you log into your thing and you go into the event, you will have your matches already in there. It's already programmed, so you will click Join Match for your first match. It will launch a Zoom meeting in the desktop. Once all the users have joined, you are the primary controller of the match as the moderator. So again, you run the room. I love that. You follow the script. Like I said, the controls will be here in the system, so it's all kind of pre-programmed, really. The same timings go. I don't know, for those of you who did this previous years, they normally would only have a 1-minute conference time, but dealing with the technology, as the moderator, yes, the times are all pre-programmed, but you can manipulate those in case there's technical difficulties with the team, so that if you need to give a team a little bit more time because a minute of their conference period was chewed up with technical difficulties, you can do so. You can view the script at any time. Again, I print mine out, but you can view it online on the screen. You can send notifications to users, nonverbal time warnings, other announcements, and you end the match. So this is what the moderator view looks like, our module. So what you've got here is once you go into your match, you've got the team members here. This would be team B because it's highlighted here. We've got, you can always go back to the main menu here. This tells you what match you're in and what schools. Okay, you're the moderator, so that's you right there. You set your match step, which would be team A presentation. And then you have your timer duration. And like I said, they already have the times, the normal times programmed. So if it's team A's presentation and they get 5 minutes, you just click the drop down timer duration and click 5 minutes and then start timer. It's beautiful. You can toggle your view between the teams. So if team A is presenting, I can also click here and look at team B, or I can look at the judges to make sure that everybody is, behaving as they should. But when you click on the team, you get the high school and the people in the room or on the team for that particular match and their coach. You have the persistent link to join the main room. Everybody has this link. These are the moderator controls. Again, here's the notification button. So when it's 1 minute, when they've got 1 minute left, you can click here and put in 1 minute time warning. You've got your script here and you've got your end match here. Okay, so this is what, a little bit better of a view, but this is what it would look like when you're actually in the match. So here we have the match step and timer. So team B is presenting, their timer is going, they've got 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. And we can toggle between the teams and the judges. I can tell them when they've only got 1 minute left. Okay. And this is what the notifications look like. When you click notification, send notification, you can put in whatever you need to. I am going to have these already kind of printed up so I can just copy and paste them. I think that will be faster. And then you just hit the send button. So here is the judge's view. I know you're moderators and this is moderator training, but as a moderator, you're gonna have to help the judges. You need to see what the judge's view is going to look like so you can kind of point them through, hey, down here in this pink section is where you have your scores and all of that. And if they're having issues, you can kind of help them out a little bit with this. So this is what the judge's view looks like. So these are static. You as the moderator in your window will set these, but they see them. Everybody sees what step they're at and the timer. The judges can toggle between the users. They can view the case. Here is their scoring criteria. If they've got questions on, well, how do I score this? What am I looking for? And this is their score. Now, when they click give score, that means for this part. So once team B is done presenting and team A is in their conference period, then they can give their score. And at the end of the entire match, when the judges are in their scoring period, they can go back, they review their scores, they can confirm their scores, and then they post. And all of that, again, is in your script and in your moderator outline. So this is, again, the scoring view for the judges. So if they're giving their scores through the presentation, they just have a little slide bar. Okay, see 1 to 5, they pop them in there, and then they can confirm score. They can go back and change their scores if they need to before they present. Once they click confirm score, it will show them it tallies up all the scores automatically, and it shows each judge, okay, you gave Marvel High School 51, Ace High School 48. So their winner that they picked is going to be Marvel High School. So then they're asked to confirm the score. All the judges have to confirm their scores before you can announce the winner. Okay, so here's the student and coaches view. Again, same thing as with the judges. You may have to answer some questions on the student and coach end of things, but this is what the students will see. They can toggle between the teams. They see what step they're at and what their timing is going through. They see what match they're in and who they're going up against. They can view the case once you release it. They can join their private room, which is their conference room. And that's where it comes into play, where if team A is in their conferencing, or what they have here is brainstorming, then they're the only one in the conference room, in the private room, because they're the only ones allowed to talk. Team B can be taking notes, but they can't talk and they can't be in the conference room. Kind of gives the conferencing team a little privacy. And once we get past the first match or the first round, we're gonna know how to use the system. It's all gonna be fleshed out. So this is really more for the first round where everybody's trying to get used to all of this stuff. So once you start the cases, they can click the case, read it. You as the moderator will say, okay, we're going to the case for team A, and then you read just the question. This is the whole case, but you will read just the question part of it, and then post the question part in their notification window. Okay, so that is it for our moderators training. You will be given the moderator's outline. We will also send you the moderator script so that you can have it yourself, print it out, write on it, whatever you need to do. But let us know if you have any other questions. If you need any help, you can always contact myself, Andy Dubry, or Margie Hallbrook with any questions you may have. Thank you.